everyone, I'm Silver. It is Monday, August 3rd. A quick welcome back must go out to all returning viewers. If you did tune in last time and decided to come back, I really do appreciate it. I also just wanted to say a quick hello to any new viewers. You've actually come at the perfect time as things are actually going to be changing a bit around here, but I will explain that a little bit later in the episode as to why and how that is. So in the meantime, please grab your drink of choice, your crafting, and away we go. Today I'm actually just going to be drinking some water as it is after 5 p.m. due to the fact that MTI does work from home and we're literally in the same room for most of the day. So either way, let me just take a quick drink and we will get started. All right, in this episode, we do have FOs or finished objects. We do have WIPs or works in progress. We also do have X's and O's, which is where I talk about my other crafting, including writing, etc. Radio GaGa, Silver's book pile, Silver in the case of the screen time, the more you know, and the end of the road. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. Okay, let's talk FOs or finished objects. I'm just going to let you know I am going to be noting all the yardages that I had when I finished each object, especially during the course of Stash Dash. For those that don't know, Stash Dash isn't along where you go ahead and you choose a goal of whatever, and then you actually try to accomplish that in the summer. It's a 3-month cal hosted by the Knit Girls. My goal this summer was actually a 15K, which is 15K meters, not yardage, so everyone knows. And all those that are going to be counting throughout this section, I do apologize. I'm going to be mentioning a lot of yardage and a lot of numbers. So you know I'm also going to be putting all those yardages on the picture with the project name just so that you can go ahead and follow along if you'd like. Or if you happen to miss it, it's going to be there for you. Anyway, the one thing I did manage to finish since the last time we talked was what I called I Can Hear the Bells. This is for a surprise recipient. I will mention it later in the year maybe. Either way, this project did get me 5,848.4 yards. For this project, it's actually a blanket. I made a bunch of 5 round squares using an eye hook, which is a 5.5 millimeter hook, and 3 different skeins of Caron 1 pound. One color was called Sunflower, one was black, and one was an off-white. The white actually was the border around the squares and a little bit after that. And then after all these squares, I did have a nice little border around it. I managed to finish this up, I'd say about 2 this morning. I don't remember what time it was, but I had to crank the AC in my house up just to finish it up. The reason I decided that this project needed to be done today is we had some awesome news that the intended recipient gave us last night, and I really just wanted to make sure that they had this particular project for themselves, so yay. But anyway, the blanket itself is super heavy and warm, so it'll be good for the wintertime, and, well, you know, wool in your lap during the summertime is not ideal. Anyway, as to my total for Stash Dash now, I am up to 27,329.4 yards, which is equal to 24,990 meters. So I have surpassed my 15K goal. What do you think? All right, before I go ranting and raving about the project, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, let's talk WIPs or works in progress. I'm going to be including the pattern names on the title cards as well, so just in case you happen to miss it, it will be there. The first project that I put a little bit of progress in this week, and by say a little progress, I mean quite a bit. This is the DVD Love Lesson 3. The pattern I'm using on this one is the Granny Stripes pattern by Lucy of Attic 24. I am using various Desert Vista Dye Works scraps. The full list I will go ahead and put into a blog entry on the, on my blog. I will put a link to that in the show notes. And I am actually using a size G hook, which is a 4.25 millimeter. I have actually put in all of my Desert Vista scraps up until the end of last month's socks cal. So I am pretty much caught up. Anyway, the next thing that I did get, I'd say a little bit of love on this past week, was what I called Barrow's Greatest Discovery. I am using the Toe Up Socks with a Difference pattern by Wendy D. Johnson. And I am using Lorna's Laces Shepherd Socks in the Christmas Ed Down colorway, which I absolutely love. It's very dark, but very variegated. It's hard to get a proper picture of it, as you can tell by the picture that I put up. I'm sorry. I'll have to get a little bit more light on the next time I take a picture, I promise. Anyway, I am using a size US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter on 9-inch circulars for a majority of the sock, except for the heel, toe, and cuff, as usual. The next thing that I did put some work in since the last time we talked is what I called fiery visions. Let's just put it this way. I haven't notified you guys I haven't showed this one off since last year, I think. I got to the end of the stockinette increases and did not put much in the way of the mesh netting. I decided to change that up this past week. If you're wondering, the pattern is the Viajange by Martina Bim. Sorry if I'm saying the name wrong. I am not fluent in Portuguese by any means. But anyway, I have been using Apple Tree Knits Plush Fingering. It looks like it is actually a lace weight, even though it's labeled as a fingering. Anyway, the colors that I have been using in this exact order are Firefly, Tangled Gradient, and the Hamilton Gradient is what I am currently working on right now. This is actually on a US 2, which is a 2.75 millimeter Carbon's 40-inch cable. The next project that I put a little work in is something I'm actually currently working on right now, and something you haven't seen. I am actually making a granny square shawl pattern. Honestly, I cannot remember where I found it originally. It's just basically making granny squares and increases until you're out of yarn or you have it big enough. That's essentially the point that I am at. My plan for this one is to use Caron 1 pound in the sunflower and black colorways until I run out of both. This is going to the same recipient who the blanket has. I'm also using a size I hook, which is again a 5.5 millimeter hook. It is one of the ones I got from the SSK retreat a couple years ago. So, and the project itself, when I'm not working on it, is actually being housed in a Ziploc bag because I have not found a bag I want to use yet. Let's just be honest, it'll probably change in about an hour or so after I record, I guess. I don't know. All right, and the last thing that I have been working on, and it is actually also new since the last time we talked, is what I called Drawing DVD in August. The pattern I'm using on this one is the Vanilla is the New Black pattern by Ania Fletcher. And I am using Desert Vista Dyeworks Visa Base in the Herald Crayon colorway. This is my socks for the DVD cowl for the month of August. And I am using a size US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter 9-inch circulars. I will probably end up switching over to 2/16-inch circulars mostly just for the toe. With this particular heel, I can actually knit on the circulars, which is why I chose it, just to be a nice simple pattern for the month. My brain kind of needed it. Anyway, that's a whole nother story, right? This is actually, like normal, being housed directly in my stained glass Beauty and the Beast bag by Molly Klein Designs. Wow, that was a lot. I'm going to go ahead and go get a drink because I finished the water I had, and then I will be right back. X's and O's. I have actually put a lot of work into my Super Mario cross stitch by stitch area. I'm going to include her Etsy shop below and in the show notes. I did pick this particular one for MTI as he really liked this one, and I started this, almost a month ago now. What you see is actually how much I finished, I'd say, in a 3-day, working 4 hours every day on it, which is not ideal for my finger because I kept using my finger as a pin cushion, but that's a whole nother story. What do you guys think? I am one foot and a little bit of an arm away from being done. I cannot wait. I'm crossing my fingers I can actually get it done for MDI's birthday, which happens to be in a week. So wish me luck. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. Radio GaGa. This week I did concentrate on some random CDs. I listened to Hamilton all the way through. Also listened to some 90s and 80s music channels on Comcast as usual, just as background while I do some work. Let's see. Oh, and I also have been listening to a bunch of podcasts, including My Favorite Murder, The Murder Squad, Wine and Crime, and That's Why We Drink. And I also listened to the promo for David Tennant's new season of David Tennant Does a Podcast With. I cannot wait. I think it's like 2 more weeks until it premieres. They've been pretty much hinting at it nonstop on all of their socials. So, both David Tennant and on Georgia, his wife's stuff. So, anyway, I am again rambling, so I'm going to move on to the next segment. Silver's book pile. I managed to finish one book this week, you guys. Lots of stuff going on this week. I will explain later. But I did manage to finish the Vampire Knitting Club by Nancy Warren. And then I started the next book in that same series called Stitches and Witches, also by Nancy Warren. I have also been reading a little bit of To Have and to Hold by Fern Michaels. I've also been reading New Moon by Stephanie Meyer, along with the Hot and Bothered podcast. I still get to listen to the podcast, but at least the chapters are kind of caught up on. And I've also been reading Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, again, along with the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast. I am woefully behind on both those podcasts, but I will get there soon. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. Silver and the Case of the Screen Time. All right, I have been watching a lot of stuff since the last time we talked. In terms of TV, I have been watching Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis. Just getting now back to SG-1 after watching up to season 3, episode 4. I have watched a couple episodes of Supernatural along with the Siska Says podcast, and since they are actually watching one episode a week, it's probably going to take me a while. So yeah, you'll be seeing that on my watch list for a while. Anyway, the next thing that I have been watching is called I'll Be Gone in the Dark. It is the wonderful docuseries about Michelle McNamara and the Golden State Killer, and how the two of them seem to kind of go back and forth with each other, and in history, I guess they ever will. But anyway, the finale of that series got me so good. Like, I was ugly crying so hard that MPI was very confused and was worried about me. If I am ugly crying for based on one scene at the very end of the docuseries, you know it's going to be a good documentary, especially a documentary about somebody's life. The documentaries kind of can be hit or miss, but this one is a good one. I have to say, if you are a true crime fan and have not seen I'll Be Going in the Dark, I really recommend it. Let's see. Oh, the other thing I've been watching is Celebrity Watch Party. I also watched 2 different wrap-up episodes of one of Holzer Files and one of Destination Fear. Both of those were all on a Zoom chat, I presume, talking about their episodes and kind of where they're planning on going with the next season. So that was pretty good to know. I also watched a wrap-up episode of Ghost Nation where they were also doing that whole, hey, this is what the season's been, this is what we're planning on doing with the season. Another thing I also realized, apparently the original Ghost Hunters series is coming back, or has come back, and has been going for about 2 years now. I had no idea that they were back. This is Grant Wilson, who used to be who actually is a co-founder of Taps, who I really like. The other co-founder, Jay, is actually doing Ghost Nation. So the two of them back to back, I've been watching a lot of their episodes. In terms of podcasts, I have been watching True Crime Daily, GGKCS, and I have a few others in the queue that I hope to get to this week. But anyway, the next segment's going to be a bit longer, so I'm going to go ahead and take another drink, and I will be right back. Just a quick word of warning. I do try to keep all the swearing out of the podcast, but I'm not necessarily always good about that. So if you are listening with young ones, just please be aware. And now on with the show. All right. Here we go. The more you know. Okay. As you saw, I had to put in a warning tag as I totally anticipate possible tangents, and I know I'm probably going to swear about certain things, so let's just go on. All right, so before I talk about my alongs, I do have a few announcements. They do all have to do with Ravelry. As you've probably seen by now, I have decided to leave Ravelry by the end of August. I honestly would have already left, except for the fact that I had to wrap up a few obligations as well as wrapping up the alongs. And then the second announcement that I have has to do with the Harry Potter knit and crochet house cup. All right, let's talk about why I decided to leave Ravelry. As most of the Rav community has been aware, the new site design has caused many people to have adverse reactions. And as someone who has frequent migraines as it is, basically caused by too much light, this new change has actually caused me to have week-long migraine stuff going on that has made me irritable and unable to do much. It's actually part of the reason why my podcasting has been sporadic over the past 6 weeks or so. I'm really sorry about that, but yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. Either way, once the Rav owners realized that some people might leave the platform due to this inaccessibility issue, this and the moving and flashing GIFs that they put in there as well, they actually created what they called quote-unquote classic view. In my experience, however, this new classic view page was actually brighter than the original Rav page. Before either of these changeovers, I had been absolutely fine with the website with hardly any issues. I had to basically switch back to the new site after trying the classic view and then turn the brightness down on my entire computer to be able to deal with the brightness of the site. Like, that's not good. I mean, I'm talking all of my apps, my desktop, everything is in dark mode now. It's kind of crazy. And the brightness on my computer itself is turned all the way the heck down. Like, any little bit of light after being on the site almost triggers a headache in me. It's ridiculous. Anyway, like I mentioned, this all didn't even work entirely, but it was slightly better. And I was, like I said, I was able to kind of work with the site a little bit in some capacity, even though I was only there to do a couple of messages and then had to get right off. And then the drama over the past week started. Yeah. If you can't tell by my pauses, I am trying to be a little bit nice about what I have to say. If you don't know, one of the co-founders of the community, Cassie, decided to get her butt on Twitter, and I'm going to put the tweet here. And they accused one of our members who took to social media to explain her accessibility issues with Ravelry. She accused her of lying about it. She even went as far as emailing this person and harassed anyone, not even just this one person, but anyone that had mentioned accessibility issues. What? And then here's this letter that Jess put up, who's the other co-owner of the site, only mentioned that Cassidy was stepping down from her Twitter email and tried to backtrack and half-assed responses to why they weren't able just to put everything back in classic mode or have classic mode as a default. And then you could switch over to the new site. That the whole way they worded that was not cool at all. It made them sound entirely way too defensive. They doubled down on their original stance about, oh no, we're not going to change it, whatever. Okay. I I was kind of okay with that, but when that letter came in, I was already on my way to moving stuff off Ravelry. I was done at that point. But then this morning, here's another tweet I'm going to put up that Cassidy's sister and Jess's sister-in-law, like they were tweeting more gaslighting remarks toward this already traumatized members of the crafting community. I mean, what the F? What the actual F? This is really not a community that I want to be a part of anymore. So hashtag buy Rav. All right. The second announcement I'm going to talk about is an offshoot actually of the first announcement. Honestly, the only reason I might have considered staying on the platform at all would actually be for being on the Harry Potter House Cup. Yeah, due to the obligations I had toward the Harry Potter House Cup, obviously I'm a break month moderator, and I wanted to see this all the way through to the end of the month. I'm going to say that right now. I will be on Ravelry and floating until the end of August, and then maybe every 3 months or something, checking my PMs. All of my PMs are now coming to my email, so don't worry if you happen to PM me on Ravelry, I will see it. Okay, there's that. But basically, the straw that broke my back when it came to Harry Potter House Cup actually has been there's been a mass exodus over some issues that had to do with the leadership of the cup last term, not listening to the leaders of Hufflepuff with some much needed changes that we should be making around the cup. Ever since this mass exodus, I've been thinking that maybe I am going to leave the cup. I'm leaving the cup. I am not getting sorted. After break month, I'm done. I am honestly going to miss everyone I met in the Hufflepuff household. The den people that have kind of kept me sane over the past couple weeks alone. I am going to miss them. I was going to try to give the Harry Potter House Cup a chance to get their shit together, as the new leaders of the pups seem to be getting through to the leadership of the cup, which I was hopeful for. But honestly, with Rav's leaders being absolute fucktards, I honestly am not going to leave to let the cup be my only reason for staying on Ravelry. Like I said, I am going to miss my fellow pups, but I can no longer stay on a platform whose owners don't care enough to make the site accessible for everyone. Okay. All right, with all of this in mind, you probably want to know what this means for the future of the Great Podcaster Craft Along, right? So let's just go on, and I will explain a lot of this if I can. Bear with me. If you have something that you would like to work on, now would be the time to pull it out. So I'm actually going to grab my work in progress too, because yeah, there's a lot, quite a lot going on. So let's talk the Great Podcaster Craft Together. The Craft Together started on January 1st and will end on December 31st. If you are a podcaster and would like to host an Evo thread, that will be fine. Chatter threads are even better. Giving prizes is really up to your personal preference. If you are officially participating in the along, please just PM me directly. That can also be on Facebook or directly on Discord, which I will explain in a bit. I will also add you to the list of podcasts participating, and I will mention you in every along communication on my socials as well. Now, you don't have to be a podcaster. If you listen to any podcast at all and would like to go ahead and join in, you can. Please just feel free to join in and spread the word. If you would like to, please use hashtag TGPAL2020 on Instagram and everywhere. And that's how I will see a lot of the FOs. Now, the basic rules are, now you must be a member of the Silver Streamland Discord group. I understand Discord is a new platform for everyone. If you do choose to not join Discord, you can use the hashtag on Instagram. I will find you that way, and be able to bring that into Discord and give you a post number, so that way you know. that I have seen you, and I will be using your post number in the random number at the end of the month. Let's see. Oh, you can also post your FO pictures on our Facebook group now. I've tried to expand that, and I have a post where you can actually just comment your FO photos, and then that way I will also make sure to grab those FO posts from the feed throughout the year. And I will be using the same type of numbering system we had on Ravelry just to make it all more streamlined. So if you see a comment on either Facebook or Discord with the post number, whatever, as a comment, that's just me letting you know that I saw it. And or if you see like an edit to either one of those posts, especially on Discord, you'll know what FO post number you are. And when I list that off in the end of the month, you'll know. I'm trying to make this all as transparent as possible and as easy a transition as I possibly can. Another rule, there isn't a minimum yardage goal, so have at it. So you know single socks do count, unless of course that you finish the pair. Each pair will only count once, Any project that you do finish in 2020 will count. All finished projects will count. I just ask that you post before and after photos. And that's any finished projects you make. Poly dipping is allowed and even encouraged. If you do wish to share the other alongs that you're entering, that would be awesome. This way we can participate in those alongs as well, depending on the rules of those alongs. Now, in the case of scrappy blankets, so you know, one stripe or one square will count as an FO in this context. Because quite frankly, who isn't working on some version of a scrappy blanket or 2 or 3? And like I said, those scrappy projects tend to take forever. And I want you to get credit for what you've worked on. Okay. What you're here for, right? The prizes. Now, I would pay attention as I have changed a few of them, and I'll explain kind of why as I go along. I'll still be giving away 4 total copies of my Proud to Mimi or Wizarding World Tour pattern per quarter. Just so you know, these are going to be sent directly as direct PDFs to you, either on Discord, on Facebook if you prefer, or even email. All of those choices will be yours, but they will be sent as a direct PDF. A note about the free pattern from Java Pearl Designs. This will also be given away 1 per month, 12 total. Like I said, these are going to be sent now via direct PDFs here or via email. This will actually be your direct choice. So you know, CC of Java Pearl Designs has also left the platform. So a lot of her patterns, actually all of her patterns, will be at javapearldesigns.com. If you win these prizes, I recommend you go right to the website and choose which pattern you would like. Let me know, and I will send it out to you either via DM on Discord or on the messenger system through Facebook or via email as soon as we possibly can. I'm sorry, that's going to take a little bit of extra time. So if you just give us patience, I appreciate it. And since I have left Ravelry and the $10 or under pattern thing, that is not going to be available. What I am going to do is instead of that, we will be offering a $10 gift card to a wool warehouse in your area, aka like Webs, others as well. And that depends on the area that you're in. Just so you know, like I said, this is in place of the weekly pattern prizes that I used to do on Ravelry. These will be sent out to everyone by the end of the year. In case there are multiple times somebody has won, I'm going to give this option of rolling that all back until the end of the year and just doing one large gift card instead of individual $10 gift cards. Just so you know. That's just for ease of your preference if you prefer. In the terms of the every 50 FOs, I'm no longer going to be giving away patterns on Ravelry for all the reasons I mentioned above. Sorry, I can't in good conscience spend any money on that on the site. I'm so sorry. As much as I would like to go ahead and support all of the wonderful pattern designers, I can't make myself do it. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's move on to the more physical prizes. From Desert Vista Dye Works, we are giving away 2 different colorways on her Rizo base. The first is Neon Cotton Candy. The second is Somebody Needs Some Courage. And on her Xian or Sparkle base, we do have the Mother of All Somebody Queens. It is an 8 striper. It is absolutely gorgeous. Oh my gosh, you guys. From Nice and Knit, we do have 2 colorways, both on their fingering base. The first one is called Sand Dollar, and the second one is called Times Square. The next pattern was actually donated to us directly by the owner of New England Yarn and Spindle LLC, which happens to be my LYS. We were donated the Sweet Georgia Yarns colorway Rainbow Sprinkles. Oh, I absolutely love it. I will go ahead and link their shop directly in the show notes, both below and on our more juicier show notes as well. And the last physical prize I'm going to talk about was donated to us from Knit Picks. It is a gold needle organizer. Oh. Alrighty, let us talk about who finished objects in the month of July. D-Door 4, Elsa and M, I Now Hour, Joda Daya, Elle McCall, Meditative Crafter, Mo's Crochet, Nicole S, Original Sin, The Zeneca, VT, Kimmy Kim, and Walsh Central. So congratulations everyone for finishing. I absolutely love it. And I know there were a couple left over from the very early of August. I will mention them in next month's episode so you know. Now, in terms of most loves, if you hadn't noticed already, I have been loving every project that you put up because I cannot get enough of the awesomeness that you've been working on / finishing this past month. It's just who I am. I do like to share the love and to celebrate everyone's accomplishments. If you agree with me and would like to go ahead and start doing so, that would be awesome. I have created a forum on Discord where you can do the same as before. You would just hit the love button. On your favorite FOs. Now, for this month, we're kind of still straddling Ravelry, so this particular forum is on Ravelry. I ask that you just hit that love button on your favorite FOs from post number 441 to 544 on Ravelry before midnight on the 22nd of August, as this is when I am going to be locking that thread, awarding all prizes, and I'm probably going to try to close out that group at that point, so you know. Like I said, just make sure you leave a comment in the thread for the voters. Just let me know that you voted, and then you'll be in the running for a prize that way as well. Again, a $10 gift card, so it's good. Now, like I said, with the changeover from Ravelry, I've included a thread for honorable mentions on Discord as well. The winners from here on out will be given, like I said, a $10 or under gift card to their local wool warehouse. As is in the case, I'll be awarding these by the end of the year. I do ask that you send me a DM on Facebook, Discord, or an email with the warehouse you would like the gift card through, and if you prefer it now or at the end of the year. So yeah, it's a little bit more complicated procedure, but it will work, I promise. Okay, our prize winners, right? The winner of the Java Pearl Designs is post number 325, who is D-Door 4. I'll be linking their Etsy and main shop below. Just all you have to do is just go there, let me know which pattern you would like, and we'll send it right over. The winner of this month's $10 gift card goes to post number 316, who is Walsh Central. So congratulations. Like I said, just let me know what wool warehouse you'd like that sent to, and if you'd like it an hour later. Okay, in terms of most loves from June, this was from post number 373 to 440. The winner of this with 8 loves was post number 389, who is Elle McCall. So congratulations. And the winner of the voters from June was post number 5, who again was Elle McCall. They're on Ravelry. So go ahead, Elle McCall, let me know which wool warehouse you'd like me to send that from. All right. With that, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, we have come to the end of the road. I am pretty social. You can find me on Discord, which is Silver's Dreamland podcast. I am Silver D, and then the number I think is 8852. Let me double check that. Yes, 8852. On Facebook, Silver's Dreamland can be found at www.facebook.com/Silver's Dreamland. We do have a group where you can go ahead and put all your FOs. On Instagram, I am Silver's Treats. On Twitter, I am at Silver's Knitting. Now, so you know, I do tend to read through all messages as soon as I possibly can. If you don't hear from me within 24 hours, please feel free to send me an email directly at silversdreamland@gmail.com. As always, everything that I do talk about can be found directly in the show notes down below the video, or also at www.silversdreamlandpodcast.com. If you haven't done so already, please feel free to subscribe and hit the bell down below. This way others can find me in my little corner of YouTube. That, and you can see when I post videos. Okay, I have obviously rambled for long enough. I know your time is valuable and I appreciate you listening as much as you possibly have. Please feel free to go ahead and join in any discussion, or you can even start your own directly on Discord. Preferably, you might have to get approval from one of our moderators, but that's fine. We don't bite, I promise. If you are feeling generous, please feel free to go ahead and hit that like button below this video so that others can find my show as well. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and please stay tuned for episode 95 next week. And wait till after the credits. There's a little bit of something there for you. Until next time, happy crafting. Guys, he's in the box. He's in the box. He's in the box. Oh my god, he's in the box. Mario! Hello! X's and O's. I have actually put a lot. Hey. Apparently, Mario is looking hefty ice feet. Gotta love it. Anyway, now that I'm thoroughly distracted, let's start that again. Okay, everyone. As you can probably see, I have a screen share going on right now of what Discord actually looks like. What you're seeing directly is the front page of the Silver Streamland podcast stuff. Once you have your account and you're allowed to come in, if you would like to change it to dark mode, just kind of how I have it, there's a little button down bottom, looks like a little gear. It does say user settings. If you click that, you'll see this thing. And then you will have to go under your appearance section and you can click dark mode real quick. Just make sure you save it. And then once you're done, you just click the X and then you'll see this. I do have a section for mod announcements. I haven't put much up on here. Essentially just be nice. All FO threads must be stationary because that's the usual. Also, do you have anytime you have any questions for me, please feel free to use this particular channel here under Inquiring Minds Want to Know. I do have an intro to the Great Podcaster Craft Together. As you heard in this particular episode, I did go ahead and included all all of the different rules here as well as pictures. Just be aware in the Welcome to the Dreamland that you might run across a moving GIF at the very beginning. It's just me playing and trying to figure out what I want to include at the beginning and how that all works. So I'm sorry if you did see that and it triggers you. But I also do have stuff for the podcast information. Like when I have all of the podcasts, they will also go here in their own separate thread. I do have a pattern store informational as to where you can find my patterns, where they were on Ravelry before, but now they're actually on a different website. I've been doing a lot of work, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do this quick before I get another message from somebody else on a different server. Anyway, we do have a little bit of talking about the podcast and things like that. If you have, like I said, if you have any questions, I'm here. The honorable mentions post will now actually be hosted here in this particular thread here. It is everything that you saw in the post on Ravelry as well, just duplicated so that I can see it. And then that way it'll be a similar thing every month on this one. Now, we also do have a place where I'm putting all the different badges. If you would like to save these to your desktop, you're able to do so. You don't have to be signed into Ravelry to see them anymore. They will be in this particular thread. If you do have any questions, please feel free to PM me. Like I said, this right here is my ID, Silver D8858. When you're actually on Discord, you'll have the option of seeing here, which is all of your direct messages. You can come in here and say find or start a conversation. You would actually be able to put in your particular thread you would like to add to, or you can go ahead and create a DM to me. If you click this, you'll be able to put my name in and boom, you can talk to me. Like you can see here, I have MTI still up. His computer is up. So yeah. Now, so you know, when you're looking at the server, I'm trying to be quick, I promise. In here, you'll see all the different tiers when you plug in, who can do what kind of role. You'll see different titles for things. It's kind of a hot mess at the moment. If you have any suggestions for how to make it better and how to make it our own and not just my stuff, just let me know. I'd be more than willing to try. Now, on down the road, we're going to have the option of doing voice calls. That's going to come in. Spoiler, I'm creating a Patreon because all of this is going to end up costing me a little bit of money down the line, but that's neither here nor there. Like I said, if you do have any questions, please email me now at silversdreamland@podcast@gmail.com. I will answer any questions as soon as I possibly can. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will see you in the next episode.